first of all, a very good morning to David Bannerman. David, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Mike.
Good to talk to you. I know you're on holiday, so I appreciate you spending some time with us. This is a fascinating situation, isn't it? Because clearly Boris Johnson has been kind of, in some of your views and in some people's view, removed prematurely and certainly without reference to those who elected him in the Conservative Party overall. What's your kind of legal basis for this?
Well, actually, the Conservative Party, has Article 17 of the Constitution allows the party board to do whatever it thinks is best on behalf of the party. And what we're doing, what we're asking is not like a third name with the other two going forward, but to have a separate ballot, what we call a Boris ballot, which is basically a straight yes or no. Do you want to keep him or dismiss him? But the membership decide, not MPs, the membership.
And where would that then appear, though? Because, I mean, presuming that the two names that go forward today are the two names on which, you vote, how does this kind of run side by side with that, then?
Well, what we envisage, of course, a lot of it's done online now, but right. You just another box, a yes/no box. Do you want to retain Boris Johnson as leader of the party? Because he still is as we speak. Do you want to do that, or do you want to dismiss him? And if you dismiss him, then you've got the other two names there that will one of those will win.
Okay.
And I think that's the way that the membership should be treated, with some respect.
Yes, because your problem with this, from what I can see that you've said in the past, is that, it was the members that elected Boris, it was the members that chose Boris last time around, so it should be them that are the ones that remove him rather than the parliamentary party.
Yeah, I mean, there's a campaign going on at the moment amongst Remainers, frankly. We had David Mellor this morning. We've had various MPs, saying, well, cut out the membership. The members shouldn't be able to vote. And it's outrageous. I mean, we got denied the opportunity last time with Theresa May, and look how that turned out.
Yeah.
Down to 9%. We were competing with UKIP for votes at that point. I mean, it was a disaster. And that was because she wasn't found out in hustings, Theresa May. Had she gone into hustings, I think they would have thought, heaven's sake, anything but this. And would have saved a lot of pain and nearly putting Corbyn in number 10.
Yeah.
So let's treat the membership with some respect, give them a proper vote on this.
Yes, and if it was to be the case that they voted to keep him, then what would you do with the other ballot? Would you just dismiss it then?
Yes, because the members will have decided, they would have had the choice, they will have decided to keep Boris as their leader. And I think it's like a referendum on Boris, 50 plus 1%. I think that's the way forward. There's a lot of anger. Central Office are well aware of this. We've been inundated. We've been asked, please don't send so many emails because they're inundated. Members are absolutely furious. And you can see in the polls today, we're down 10%. Every one of the three contenders is at least 10% behind Boris.
Yeah.
He was 4% at worst behind Starmer, and he could win, and we need him back.
Yeah.
I think that's.
Has anybody actually asked Boris Johnson if he wants to stay?
Yeah. We are in communication with him and close advisors, and we understand he's up for the fight. Yeah.
Right. Because he doesn't look particularly like a broken man. I mean, ever since the day that he actually announced that he was leaving, he seemed quite happy. In fact, at one point or other in the midst of that speech, I said, this guy looks so happy, he's probably got something up his sleeve. Maybe he's going to enter the race in some way, shape or form. He was on great form last week at PMQs. Similarly, this week when he was talking about the sort of the final farewell, as it were, and I presume today he'll give Keir Starmer another kicking because Starmer's so hopeless. So, we will miss him.
Well, I mean, the members should decide whether they want to keep him. I mean, as you say, if you look at the polls, it's been disastrous, this. It's Tory harakiri.
Yeah.
Just sort of doing yourselves down, and it's not a great way to go. And to be honest, it's only down to 50 MPs that have resigned from his government. The herd instinct, as he put it. let's test that with the membership. And the MPs are responsible to those members. Let's not forget that. They select them. And also, you know, the wider public who still, the polls are showing that they're very pro-Boris. And, you know, yes, there were things that he should have apologized for, which he did. But I think the public are ready to move on. There's much more serious challenges to be faced. And, you know, maybe Boris is the best thing for those.
Well, certainly looking at the assembled throng, the three that are left, I mean, there's nobody there particularly that fills you with any great sense of inspiration. I mean, I quite like Penny Mordaunt just because of the way that she appears to conduct herself. But, I mean, I've got no necessary faith in her political nous or her political belief system, you know. And I think all of them are rather second division when it comes to being Prime Minister.
Yes, I think Boris is in the Premier. Could argue, you know, this is championship now. I mean, look, I don't know. I'm backing Liz Truss. She's a lot of guts. She takes tough decisions. She's worked under 3 prime ministers. Goes back to Cameron. She's got the experience. I don't like what Rishi's done. He led this coup. He's been working for his own campaign for 6 months at our expense. You know, a lot of government decisions seem to have been put to one side due to this coup. And Penny Mordaunt, well, you know, she's very presentable, but she's very woke too, I'm afraid. And I don't like that aspect. You know, the book that she wrote, there's a lot coming out of that. A lot of military people saying that she hasn't really served fully. And, you know, I'm not bashing her because I've got a lot of respect for her. But, you know, I'm sorry, this is not going to stand the heat that prime ministers go through. And, you know, maybe another time, but not now.
And if you don't get Boris back and he does leave, do you fear that the Labour Party actually could win the next election?
Yes, I do, I'm afraid. I mean, look, it's a tall order anyway for anyone. I've been in politics for a long time. We're asking for a 5th term of government. People forget that. We got in 2010, but we had so many elections since, thanks to Theresa May, for example. It's a 5th term of office we're asking for. And I believe genuinely that actually only Boris will actually be able to deliver that. I think it's a tough call for any new leader coming in. I hope it's the case. I think some of Liz Truss's policies on the economy are transformative. But it's a tough call in those circumstances.
And what are you hearing about some of the other names that we don't yet know about in terms of who they're going to support? Michael Gove, of course, was backing Kemi Badenoch. We've got Priti Patel and Ben Wallace still kind of undecided. What are you hearing on the grapevine?
Well, a lot of MPs, quite rightly, you know, they keep their cards close to the chest. The thing about MPs deciding, obviously, they're in the village. They know all these people. There's a lot of personal relationships, and I'm the same. You know, there's people I will not knock. Graham Brady is a friend. I think he's a very dignified guy. So, I mean, you know, they will keep their counsel, and some of them won't actually declare at all, you know, and fair enough. You know, they don't have to. It's a secret ballot. But let's see what happens. I think what worries me is Michael Gove is quite a manoeuvrer behind Kemi, and he'll be saying, you know, oh, come on, support Rishi. I suspect that's going on. And that is very fundamental. Today is very fundamental. And, you know, knocking Penny out today, I think is very fundamental, obviously, as well. Yeah. And where those votes go. I want to see Rishi and Liz Truss in that final 2. And I hope Liz really wins it hands down. But there could be a Boris ballot, and we'll still have Boris as leader.
Yes. And when will you know whether that happens?
Well, we're talking, obviously, to the party, to the Boris team. It's unclear at the moment. We will go to law if necessary. We are consulting some top lawyers on this. We don't want to go down that path, but we've got Lord Cruddas behind this, who's a big beast. He's a huge funder of the Conservative Party, very loyal to Conservative Party. And he is serious about, you know, we'll go whatever it takes to challenge this. But the board has the power under Article 17. It can do what on earth it wants. It could stop the leadership contest tomorrow if it wishes. But it has this power under Article 17. we're asking him to say, well, look, this is really bad for the party. It's going to end up in a split party. We're going to lose the next election, out for 10 years potentially, unless you allow the members this vote. And if it's a no for Boris, then we can all move on and unite behind a new leader. But if you don't do it, there's always going to be a big problem. And you know, you could find people will go elsewhere or just not vote at all. And we don't want that.
No. And William Hague urged everybody to vote for Rishi Sunak yesterday. Would you say that many people in the party will do that?
Well, I'm sorry, there's an awful lot of people thinking they're backing a potential winner. Obviously, Rishi is a big, a big candidate, and they want jobs out of it. There's a lot of that going on. I think William Hague has behaved disgracefully, to be honest. I mean, he said that Boris should go. What's his game? He's another globalist. I mean, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but, you know, Rishi is a globalist. He's plugged into all that banking world, global banking world, and Hague is plugged into that banking world. And, you know, there's a danger of this being, you know, it's about wider global interests rather than what the British public wants. And that is not healthy. And Penny Mordaunt is also a great fan of the World Economic Forum. She's been there. Her book is, you know, just straight out of the WEF textbook. I mean, you know, it's worrying, actually, just what's going on here. It is an assault, another assault, like EU assaulted us, and then we got Brexit. This is another globalist assault on our democracy, and we've got to fight back. OK. Well, good luck with it, David. I think it would be a great thing to get Boris Johnson onto the ballot. We shall see whether that can happen. David Bannerman, former Conservative MEP. What do you make of that? This is TalkTV.